well, it is my hope that the center will have a synergistic effect with these other programs, that people will, in the numbers of millions, will visit the Smithsonian and view the exhibits that will be created as a result of our grants to the Smithsonian. And these exhibits, by the way, will be primarily involved in current technologies and the people who innovate, invent, and develop them. And as I said before, these exhibits will influence thousands of young people to become interested in and eventually trained to enter these fields, the fields of these new technologies.
Why is the Smithsonian an appropriate place to have this kind of center?
Well, primarily because the Smithsonian is probably the most advanced and creative and largest museum of its kind in the world. I don't know, but I don't believe that there is a museum anywhere in the world that attracts so many people during any one year, particularly to view the history of the United States in terms of its invention and innovation, accomplishments, and in informing the people who visit the museum as to how important innovation has been to this country and where we are today and where we expect to be in the future.
Now, you have the chance to visit the archive. Are you getting that noise from that truck? So it's just driving me crazy. Okay. This light's just not going to be on. You had a chance to go to the archives at the Smithsonian and see a little bit of their current inventor collection. Can you talk a little bit about, there's really a long-standing tradition at the National Museum of American History at the Smithsonian of honoring and researching and archiving the lives of inventors. Was that influential in your decision to make a donation there?
Could you ask the question over again?
There's a long-standing history at the National Museum of American History at the Smithsonian of developing an archive of inventors, of documenting and honoring American inventors. Was that influential in your decision to fund the Lemelson Center at the Smithsonian?
Well, I was shown files of several inventors while I was down there. I did not know that these archives existed before I decided to fund the Smithsonian, but I do feel that the archives could play an important role in the exhibits we plan to create and present to the public in the next 5 to 10 years. I certainly want to see some of the more important and interesting inventions that the public may not know about that affect our lives, our daily lives, exhibited at the Smithsonian, and some information about the people who invented them. And certainly it's available in the archives right now at the Smithsonian, which the Smithsonian currently has. They do have a collection of inventors' achievements and lives at the present time at the Smithsonian. I'd like to see that collection expanded to include as many inventors as possible.
Is there something special you think that museums can accomplish, particularly in educating young people about some of the things that you're interested in?
Yes, I would like the young people who visit the Smithsonian to get a better idea of what it's like to be an inventor, what it's like to be an engineer and a scientist, Not only in general terms, but in specific terms. There are virtually thousands of different jobs, different types of jobs that engineers and scientists perform every day. And it would be nice to present to the public just what some of these jobs are actually like. In this way, it's the best way, I believe, that we can interest young people in becoming engineers and scientists and inventors.
Now, you could give people a book or show them a magazine or a videotape that would say, here's a list of jobs of inventors, but is there something special that a museum can accomplish that's different from handing someone a book?
Well, of course, we're planning to do a lot of development work in the field of audiovisual presentations, and probably sometime in the future, hopefully they'll be able to develop an anthology of different jobs, you might say, that are available in the technical fields. They may not be directly displayed at any one time. Some of them may be displayed at the Smithsonian, but they'll be available for young people to look at, say on CD-ROM, at their choosing. We certainly hope to have a large number of television terminals and CD-ROM equipment so that people can sit down and pick a subject that is not available in the stores and scan through it to determine what is going on in a particular field of engineering or science.
You've talked a lot this morning about the need to motivate young people and the need to graduate more scientists and engineers. Is there something that's happened in the current American, contemporary American school system that's fallen short? That, what is it that happened that we stopped graduating engineers and scientists?
Frankly, I don't know. I don't know what happened.
Do you think is there a big difference in the way in which science education, for example, is delivered now than when you were a kid? And there were obviously there was something that happened in your education and environment that inspired you.
Well, I can only speculate as to what happened, and I don't know whether it's right for me to speculate. Like I say, maybe the fact that we've lost productivity and the demand for engineers dropped off in the last 20 years. I don't know if that's true or not, or that that the reward, the income that an engineer receives is not on the same level as that of a master's of business administration. More people wanted to become business managers and to put on, overalls and get down on the production line or sit at a drafting table and design or at a computer. I don't really know why it is. Perhaps Lester Thoreau could tell us.
If you were talking to a group of science teachers or elementary school teachers, what would you tell them as advice that you think they ought to be doing to help get those students prepared and receptive to the idea of pursuing science education? In your notes, you said something about the need for a national education program in science that would have the latest electronic and audiovisual techniques and maybe some kind of a national awards program that would help kids, motivate kids.
Yes, well, I would tell the teachers that they have to make their courses a lot more interesting. And perhaps the best way to do this, other than by performing experiments directly in front of the students, which quite often are costly, is to use the latest electronic technologies